Welcome to the issue 43. Today's topic is money is love. Well, what does that mean? So, in December of last year, I read this book called Money is Love in an attempt to kind of get my head around a new paradigm, like a new point of view in terms of money in my life. And it's an incredible book, which essentially says that money is love, it's energy, it's the exchange of love and energy between people. It's an exchange medium and not what we've always considered it, right? This thing that exists external to us that's out there somewhere that we have to get or use or, whatever the case may be. And money's an interesting thing, right? Because people don't really want to talk about money, right? We all want to pretend like we just have a lot of it, right? Or we have enough of it, or we have more than the people in our lives, or more than the friends, or whatever. Sometimes we want to pretend like we have none, right? When you go to dinner with 6 people and it's talking about paying the bill, people are like, oh man, I'm struggling these days, I don't have much money. So, we pretend all the time with money, right? We have all this crap about money. And I consider myself a successful business person, right? I've had my law practice myself for a little over 9 years. And I'm still in business. So apparently I've done something right? I've managed to stay in business for this amount of time, if that's the standard, right? But I have questions about whether or not I manage money in a way that's conducive to the most prosperity and most peace and most security in my life. And the answer to that question is I don't do it optimally, okay? I don't do it 100% as good as I could, clearly, obviously, right? I don't know if anybody's doing that. But I fall pretty short sometimes. And so I'm always trying to solve this problem, right? Like, well, how do I rethink it? Because one of the things I've learned over the years in making more money is that more money is not the solution. I mean, you hear that a lot, right? You hear that more money is not the solution, more money is not the solution. And frankly, it's just not the solution. It would have to be so egregiously large amount of money for it to become not a problem in my life that it's probably not possible for me to get there. And so then I'm left with the idea of how do I solve the issue, right? How do I address it in a way that makes sense in my life? And so I had this realization yesterday, and I wrote about it on Facebook actually, that money is love. Money is also joy. Money's anger. Money's fear. Money's pain. And money's scarcity. Money's all of these things precisely because money's simply a reflection of the emotional content of my life. That's an interesting point. Money is a reflection of or a measure of the emotional content of my being, my person, right? It's not a thing that exists separate from me. It's something that reflects the activity that's going on in and around me. And so what's true about me is that I live a lot of my life in scarcity. Scarcity of love when I should not. Scarcity of financial security when I should not. Scarcity of physical health when I should not. Scarcity of spiritual connection when I should not. And should in the not in the negative sense, in the positive sense, when those things are available to me in my life to have. And for me, the money scarcity, the financial scarcity, is a product of the personal scarcity. And so fixing the personal scarcity and living in abundance in my heart and in my body is what is required for me to create an abundance in all of those areas, including money. And I would have previously said to you that money was not within this construct, right? That money was not within this thing, not in my control like that. Like my spiritual connection is in my control because I can meditate more, or I can study more, the Word of God, or whatever the case may be, whatever you choose to study. I can study what is to me the source of all life, right? Or my body, right? I'm in control of how my body feels. I can go to the gym and work out and take care of myself, and what I get as a result, I get a measurable result. I lose weight, my blood sugar comes down, my blood pressure comes down, all of these things, right? There's all these measures, all these matrix, all these things I can look at to see that my body's in shape. And for me, money is a measure just like one of those. Money's like a scale as to my abundance as it relates to my business, and it relates to the scarcity and abundance that I live in my life. And so it's really interesting that what I've connected to recently is that if I can address the scarcity in my body, the scarcity in my life, the scarcity that I live in, this like sphere of scarcity, then I will be more effective at handling the financial matters in my life. Just like it would be easier for me to handle the scale matters in my life or the blood sugar matters in my life, right? Because it's just a measure. And so what does that mean? And I guess in the end of the day, what does that scarcity mean? And for me, I went through a really remarkable event this last week called Warrior Week. 4 days of just intense personal growth, focus, physically demanding exercises that were tied into emotional growth and personal growth. And one of the things I came away with was that I operate a lot of my life from the place of a child wounded, and a child for whom I've been giving a lot of energy all of my life. And purposefully so, right? I was a child that was wounded and abused as a child. And so to address that, to give that child love and nurturing and care was very important for me young in my life. Very important for me to nurture and love that little person in me who needed it. The problem is that when I gave the little person all this power, all this child that's inside me, all this power, he then decided to act like a child. Normal, right? No big deal. And so what I got from that was this scarcity sort of living, this inability to see the future, to see the bigger picture, to notice what was going on around me, and a kind of being stuck in this, I'm going to do what I want to do when I want to do it. No one's going to hurt me. No one's going to harm me. You're not going to stop me. I can do anything. Now, there's some really neat parts to that, right? There's some really neat, like I can accomplish anything. There's a goal I can't hit. There's a target I can't hit. Those things are great. And there's a negative side to that, which is I have this 7-year-old managing my bank account and managing my body. And so there was a lot of ice cream and a lot of cookies and shit until I realized, all right, that's not the way to go. And then I used that as a model to say, all right, that's not the way to go in business either. That's not the way to go in my bank account. That's not the way to go in my spirituality, Yeah, I don't like meditating, but guess what? I do it every day. And it ain't great. I mean, it ain't fun. But maybe 6 months from now, or maybe a year from now, maybe 5 years from now, it'll start to make sense. And so I'm willing to do it because the 7-year-old is not in control of me anymore, right? This kid, this child making these kind of what I want right now to kind of decisions aren't in control of me. And so that's the scarcity I was living in. And that scarcity was changing the way that I dealt with my life in all aspects, including in managing investments or managing my money or managing the manner in which I took care of those things or the manner in which I stewarded my responsibility to my wife and to my children and to myself and to my employees, which is really the crux of it. And so if money is in fact love, then money is only the measure of the manner in which I'm giving to those people in my life. The measure or the matrix or the scale of whether or not I'm being unselfish and giving security to my wife and children, security to my employees, love and understanding to these people in my life. Frankly, keeping my word to my creditors or someone I owe a bill to. That's really what's going on with me. And so the way that I express love and express communication, express connection in the community is reflected by money. And that to me is how money is love, right? That is how money is simply a reflection of how I'm living my life for me. And that's my lesson today. That's what I'm learning. That's what I'm coming to terms with. Frankly, I don't know if I fully understand it even today as I sit here as a 49-year-old man. I'm not sure I fully get it, but I sure am working on it every day and getting better at loving those people in my life, caring for those people in my life, providing security for those people in my life that I've invited to participate with me in my business and in my home, and doing so, I think, putting out energy and effort into doing that, I feel like the way to go is to put effort and energy into loving these people and caring for these people and providing security for these people. And in doing so, the managing money thing will get clearer to me as I go forward. So anyway, that's my message today. I appreciate you coming by. We're going to start doing the issue again every day. And so this will be the first of a series again of the issue coming every day from the Ambeau Law Firm and from me. So thank you for coming by. I appreciate it.